Wow, 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 wow. Those are the first words that came out of my mouth when I started playing this game, and I'll say it again. Wow, 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 wow. This game really impressed me, which is saying something because I was really skeptical about even buying it. First off, it's a whopping £70 at most stores, but the other thing is that recent games have made me a lot more skeptical for any game with hype surrounding it. And Rift Apart was nothing short of being hyped, and honestly, I think it deserves it. And after finding out it's made by Insomniac, I'm not surprised. I mean, Spider-Man Miles Morales, Ratchet and Clank, I guess they never miss, huh? There's so much to say about this game that will come out sounding really cliché, but I'm going to say them anyway. The transitions between cutscene and gameplay flow so well. There were moments where I was genuinely just standing there because I didn't know the cutscene was over. And honestly, it makes the game feel so much more cinematic throughout the entire time that you're playing it. Even the new rift mechanics impressed me. I was concerned at first if the rifts were going to be a bit gimmicky, but they're perfectly used to add more diverse movement as you traverse through platforming levels and to evade enemies' gunfire. But you've probably heard all this before. Everyone is talking about how great the game is at the moment, the quick load times, rifting to different levels like you're walking through a door, crowded levels, multiple enemies on screen at a time, the list goes on. And of course I've got to talk about the two newcomers of the series, Rivet and KT-7461, or Kit for short. Yeah, they basically took that bit from Force Awakens with the whole FN2187 thing, but I'll let them off. They both play the same as their counterparts, so there's no real difference there. However, they all have completely different personalities, which makes it refreshing to switch between characters every level or so. But onto the trophies. I was very surprised just how trophy hunter friendly it actually is. I can guarantee you'll have most of, if not all the trophies by the time you finish the game if you explore it properly. Most of the trophies come from defeating enemies with different weaponry, which doesn't take long at all, especially if you keep swapping around with weapons you use. The only one I did struggle on was catching and reflecting 20 shots with a void reactor, but that was only because you need to reach max level with a weapon before you can unlock that perk. But if you're looking for the trophies that ask you to find every single collectible, well, you won't find them here. All those gold bolt thingies that are lying about, yeah, you don't have to worry about finding all 25. You only have to find 5 for the trophy.
Whoa! This is worthless.
The only collectibles that you do need to keep your eye on though is those spy bots. And that's only so you can unlock the Rhino. A weapon that I never actually really used because I thought my weapons were, better. I'm sure it's a great weapon, but I'm good with my little pea shooter. But just because there's no trophy for collecting all the collectibles, doesn't mean I didn't do it. Honestly, this game was so fun to play that I just had to fully explore it and get everything. And by doing that, I also ticked off completing all the glitch missions, which are little mini games where you play as a mechanical spider defeating viruses, which honestly, I thought was really cool. Now that I think about it, there was one collectible that doesn't show up on the maps or on the menus, and that was these little teddy bears that are scattered throughout the worlds. There's one per world, and to be fair, they're really hard to spot until you get close to it and see the triangle prompt. I was able to find about 3/4 of them before looking up a guide to find the last few, but this was the only time that I used a guide because the rest of the game is just too much fun to explore. As I said before, the game surprised me by how friendly it is to trophy hunters, since the game has an arena section where you have to complete different tasks. And you don't even have to do all of them for a trophy, just one gold one. And after I finished the game, there were 3 trophies left for me to have. One of them was that reflecting trophy I talked about earlier, another was to kill 5 Grunthors, which you can apparently do in one playthrough, which I didn't do. And I couldn't find any after the game had finished. I think they could sense I was hunting them down.
Clever girl.
But luckily the kill count carries through to New Game Plus, so I was locked and loaded and ready to blast away the first Gunthor I saw. And the last trophy was actually the first one that I did on New Game Plus, and that was to buy all the weapons. There are 2 weapons that can only be unlocked through New Game Plus. I don't remember their names because I didn't look and I haven't used them, so I'll call them Weapon A and Weapon B. Well, both Weapon A and Weapon B both cost a whopping 1 screw each. Overall, I can't recommend this game anymore, however there's still the problem of the price. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of all these PlayStation exclusives coming out at 70 quid a piece, but that's a subject for another time. But as far as the game goes, it's very impressive. The gameplay seems polished, the combat is fun, and the world is a joy to explore. I even like how the little screw things float towards you like you're in a Lego game. The Platinum Trophy was just as fun to collect as the game was to play. There's no tedious trophies to scare you away here, and I'd probably recommend this to newcomers to trophy hunting, as I think it's good fun and not all that difficult. I especially think it was clever for most of the trophies to force you into trying different weapons, as I began to experiment more and more with different guns as I bought them. Overall, it took me 12 hours to get the Platinum Trophy for Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh man, is this what a working cyberpunk looks like?